My issue is the libertarians, like, why is the border a crisis to me? Well, obviously, you've got trafficking, child trafficking, abuse, drugs. Those are the direct bad. Why is all mass migration bad? And I will say this. I'm a fan of immigration. I like the O1 visa. The O1 is the extraordinary talent. So if you've got a pro athlete, a PhD rocket scientist or whatever, they can come to this country. We'll take them. That's the brain drain, baby. We love that. But when you bring in millions upon millions, legally or otherwise, the American culture is something. Sam Hyde hit the nail on the head with the hammer. You saw that video? It's unquantifiable. It's waking up in the morning at the smell of cinnamon pancakes and coffee that mom's made. It's an orange juice. It's Christmas morning. It's Halloween trick-or-treating. Yep. These are things that don't exist in other countries, that are not economic. They have nothing to do with whether or not the border has drugs or anything like that. Those are bad things. It has to do with whether or not we love our lives and want to share them with our children.
The whole the whole back in the day, you know, you used to have to learn English and blah blah blah. There's legitimacy to those arguments, and I do think that, like, you should have to learn English if you come to the United States. I do think that it would be cool if Congress made said that, you know, passed a law that said there was an official language and that it was English. Like, and you have to learn English to be an American. And I think that, like, I was under the impression that the H1 visa, H1B visa
H1B.
was the same thing. It was actually what the O1 is.
Nope, that's the lie. That's the trick they use.
So
got me.
Yeah, yep. I didn't know that there was a distinction. I didn't realize that the H1B visa was just, you know, was being abused as much as it is. And so, like, I have no problem with the O1 visa either. The H1B, we can get rid of it. I think it's fine if we shut down a lot of immigration. Like, we could cut immigration down to like a trickle and I'd be perfectly fine with it. I do think that it's good. It would be good if the people that are here that are not Americanized did assimilate. I do think that that should be something that we demand of the people that come to the United States. You should come to the United States and become an American. If your ideology doesn't line up with the American ideology, you shouldn't be allowed to come here. It's not racist to say your culture doesn't fit in with ours, and you can either, if you want to live life according to the old ways that your culture has, go back to where you came from. If you're going to come to the United States, you come to become an American. You know, I don't think that I don't understand why there's such a problem with that, or why people have decided that that's a problem. It's perfectly fine for there to be a bunch of different countries around the world, and a lot of the places will allow you to go to the place that you prefer.
Donald Trump wants to have military parades, which was like a normal thing for everybody for a long time. It is not fascist. It is, it's
pride.
Yeah, we have a strong military. Yeah. We're proud of those who sacrifice for the United States. It's strange that Trump's like, well, let's honor the men and women in uniform and have a military parade. And they're like, that's fascism because it's showing off military might and power. It's like, we love our veterans. That's like every country does. They want to destroy us, our values, our traditions. And they have claimed, when we say things like, we don't like happy holidays, I'm not going to cry about it, but I say Merry Christmas because I love Christmas. And I understand it means a lot more to most people than it does to me. To me, I grew up Catholic, but it's largely just family American tradition. I do respect the Christian moral values that have shaped this country tremendously. And I think these are things that we should maintain, uphold, and cherish. And the left wants to convince you you're an evil, fascistic monster for saying, I love what my parents gave me. That's insane. The idea that you would teach your children discipline and morals is not fascism. The idea that you want to celebrate those who would sacrifice to protect your way of life is not fascism. And this is the game they play when we try to say things like, hey, man, we're for legal immigration so long as it's not at the expense of the American worker and at the expense of American culture. We love it that people want to move to this country, but they have to assimilate. We respect our veterans. We support our troops. We believe that policing can be and largely is a great institution. We all recognize there are problems. Nobody thinks everything is perfect. There's corruption. We're going to get rid of it. And they want to tell you, they want you scared. There are people who live in cities who are terrified to say, I love Christmas, because they'll be called a fascist. And I think people just need to be like, no. These are the things I love. My parents gave these things to me, and I'm going to give them to my kids. And I don't want 15 million non-citizens for any reason coming here and then making us erase those traditions and put up a holiday tree. That's not what it is. I went to the mall and we had Santa Claus and we had a Christmas tree and there was a tradition there. And it's okay that we love those things and want them to be protected. Saying, I would prefer that my local mall continue this tradition has nothing to do with authoritarianism or attacking minorities.
Yeah, we need to stop doing what we got here. Like, a great point you had before, Tim, was how the Christians turn the other cheek and are tolerant of others and allow them what they do because as long as they're doing it away from us. And they've been doing it to us for years. We're done with that. It's time to be over with that shit.
Look, man, we see the far left engage in violent, deceptive tactics to put weird books in the schools, to teach kids about adult graphic content. And they tell you when you say, hey, I think that goes too far. They say you're a white supremacist, fascist, far right, etc.
Yeah.
Enough. Much like the racist thing has fallen out of meaning anything because everybody's racist now. The same thing should happen to fascist, far right. We should be proud to say, look, man, I grew up on apple pie, baseball, and Christmas trees, and I'm going to keep that tradition up. Okay, and we're going to make sure that in our city centers and when our town comes together, out here in Ranson, West Virginia, they had a large tree lighting ceremony on Christmas, and they call it Christmas, and they called it a tree lighting ceremony. We don't need any of this non-denominational generic holiday season celebration. I'm not for that. And it's not authoritarian to say, if my tax dollars pay for it, I have a say in what it represents. So when I go to town hall meetings or when I'm talking to the locals, I say, hey, I pay for this too, Christmas tree. And then they're going to call you a fascist. Nah, get out of here. I say, look, H-1B, I get. But it's abusive, it's abused, and it displaces the American worker, and it's causing cultural decay. I don't care what you call me. It's a fact. These libertarian, I don't know how I got on the libertarian rant, but you get the point. Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.